So my insider is 2 for 2, and he's given me more insight as to how Pokemon Company International is going to approach printing and distributing through this first quarter of 2026 in the form of not one, but two more inside scoops. But let's get people caught up because this is a bit of a victory lap for me. So I knew that Pokemon had leased this new printing facility with Millennium Print Group about a week before it was broken on Poke Beach, leaked supposedly. We'll get into that. But here's the video of me. At the end of it, I was trying to lend a little bit extra credence to the fact that I have clearly an inside source. And this was the extra bit of scoop that I was giving on that. So, okay, you know what? Here's the real inside scoop. The biggest point of bottlenecking in distributing Pokemon product is not in the printing, it's in the packaging. It's all these fucking SKUs that they've got to like. Think about these 3 packs, Phantasmal Flames or whatever, or it's supposed to be Mega Evolutions and it had a Phantasmal and a Spanish Phantasmal. The process of packaging is what is bottlenecking distribution right now more than anything, and it can be addressed much more quickly in that 400,000 square feet than any kind of printing issues. It's just what my uncle told me, so that we can expect most of the Ascended Heroes product that we're going to see on release was done at the old facilities. And that's why all this new product that's been very neatly scheduled, it's all being done in this new 400 square feet because most of what's accessible immediately is for packaging. Um, Interesting. Okay, interesting little scoop, if I may say so myself. Now, a lot of people hate it, right? There are doubters. There are always going to be whatever. Let it roll off your back because if you really know what you're talking about, you don't really worry about all those people. That was December 20th. You saw the Christmas garb there. That was just before Christmas. Let's go forward to this is a non-TCG clip on January 5th. If you're not familiar with the non-TCG, do give him a sub. He has distro access. I think he runs an actual brick and mortar store that, or he just has a very large online store, but he sells just every TCG under the sun. Here he is. He's talking about a printing label that is backing up the claims that he's made about both more booster boxes being on the way at the end of February and Charizard UPC um, restocks coming. So let me see if I can add
You
this
guys
bad
know,
boy
and
here.
this really dovetails into the new Pokemon
Mhm.
manufacturing facility. Pokemon outsources a lot of the packaging production and then a lot of the packing. So they're printing the packs in house. They're sending the packs to somebody like the group that did this, which is Sanitize. It's not on here, where they're taking the packs. They're manufacturing the packaging, and then they're packing the packs in the manufacturing. They're palletizing everything, and then they're shipping it out to its ultimate destination. So, and it's interesting too because I've heard many folks mention that if the product is coming directly from Pokemon, they have a lot of visibility into when it ships and when they're going to get it. When it's coming from one of the third-party packers, a lot of times it just shows up and they don't even know it's coming or when it's coming. That was 100% the case with these Mega Charizards, especially Wave 2, which came 3+ weeks after it was supposed to.
Sounds like there's some sort of bottleneck happening in the packaging of all of this material. I don't want to use all of this clip because it is a really good video, and I'll have the full link to it. But just another minute or two that we want to listen to here. Again, just clearly ties directly into my uncle who works for Nintendo. For anyone who hasn't picked up on it by now, who let me know what it is they're looking to do, prioritizing the packaging in-house with all this stuff. Clearly all kind of lines up with everything I was telling you, but let's see this other little bit, how it ties into the scoop overall.
Reprint coming most likely the end of Q1. So I'm going to connect the dots for you guys. So the same or similar type facility that we received the Mega Charizard packing set from were also engaged to manufacture, supposedly, to manufacture packaging for Phantasmal Flames booster boxes for delivery the end of February or March of 2026. Now, none of this in and itself is surprising. What's surprising is this plant doesn't generally, or has not in recent memory, manufactured booster box packaging. They do a lot of the specialty stuff. So that's a long-winded way of saying that the Pokemon Company is doing something that it hadn't done before. It's now pushing booster boxes and reprints of booster boxes, presumably to come with Mega 3. Now, we don't know if that's the case, but their MO is to ship restocks, reprints of booster boxes with.
Right. So there he's talking about clearly there's this shift in which of these facilities is going to be packaging what kind of product. There's one more minute I wanted to get in here real quick. But again, if you don't see how that ties into my Uncle Nintendo and what it is that he bestowed upon me as far as this inside information, if it doesn't lend credence to everything I'm telling you, dear viewer, I don't know what else will. This last little bit kind of gets into just not making assumptions in general, like a lot of people were making about this Prince facility. It also kind of touches a little bit on anonTCG has almost an ongoing feud going with Rudy from Alpha Investments. It's a beef for another video, but there's a little bit of that in here. I just think it's really interesting, but it just kind of touches on overall not making too many assumptions like some people have been doing. So last little bit I'll steal from anonTCG here.
And this is why it's important to kind of keep an open mind on this stuff, because now that there's increased manufacturing capacity, we have the new plant coming online. Even Rudy said that it wasn't going to start till 2027, I believe. There have been a lot of folks that said that, but it's factually incorrect because there's approximately 440,000 square feet that are available for manufacturing. Now, there's no build out on that. Now, they're obviously going to have to get the manufacturing equipment and everything in there. I'm assuming since they've most likely been working on this lease for months, it's been kind of ordered already. Now, I don't know what the lead time is on the packaging or on the actual equipment, but I would imagine the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take all of the packaging bottleneck from these third parties, and they're going to move that in-house, and they're going to start to do packaging. So that doesn't increase capacity per se. It increases margin when it comes to how much they can outsource, how much they're outsourcing, how much they're insourcing. It also gives them ultimate control as to when they get the items. For example, they place an order with one of these third parties. They may or may not have capacity for the amount of volume at that point in time. This
And he goes on there. It's absolutely true what he's saying there. It kind of ties into it won't necessarily all lead to more product, but quicker product, them having more line of sight to when it will meet the market so that they can have it all hit at once rather than have this small amount of water that just kind of spreads the fire a bit and then another small little dump that comes on after that. They want much more control than they're currently able to do with using this outsourced third party to package a lot of the ancillary product. That's why I told you my uncle at Nintendo gave me the inside scoop that 400 some square feet that's already built out, it's going to be pretty quick to get equipment that's used for packaging in that place as opposed to equipment that's used for printing. That's again, you now have someone who has clear distribution access, even has shipping receipts from these different facilities telling you Uncle Nintendo is correct. But if you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. You can listen to Rugi at Alpha Investments and have him still. I believe it's pronounced Rugi. I don't know everybody on the Pokemon or TCG YouTube space. Maybe I'll do a video on that someday. But it kind of gets into my first scoop from Uncle Nintendo. Let me see. Can I remove? Look at this great Jack Kirby art. Before I fill up this space, I like to have something that StreamYard logo just kind of loses itself in. And how about some Jack Kirby art to do it? But this gets into then the first scoop from Uncle Pokemon is that in addition to outsourcing those booster boxes, they are prioritizing themselves in house packaging bundles. And they're also giving some of that bundle, like the packaging material, to the third party as well. So some of those bundles that we're going to be seeing a lot more of are also going to be done out of house. But TBCI, I mean, they just know they have a hell of a lot more mouths to feed, right? And you can't do that with a 36 pack booster box the same way you can with a 6-pack booster bundle. And unlike booster boxes, both Pokemon Company International and the market at large are comfortable with specialty sets being packaged 6 booster packs at a time without any other ancillary product attached, which was a thing for TPCI. They weren't quite sure. They never want to add the booster box to the equation for these specialty sets, but having a form factor that they can use for both for being just a 1/6 of a booster box, here it is, let's go. That's definitely the what it is that they're going to be prioritizing. And you're seeing it already with their restocks coming really soon with a bunch of prismatic and Destin Rival booster bundles. It's let's get ready to bundle, y'all, because that's definitely the way TPCI is deciding to feed more mouths, so to speak. Now, does that mean the booster box is dead? No, not at all. It's simply, I would look at it as being in a manufacturer induced coma, right? So they're still printing them. You can even see from Anon's full video there that I'm linking down below more phantasmal boxes. They're reprints of old sets still coming in the form of booster boxes. It's just not priority for them. They want to feed more mouths of the new people who are here in the hobby actually ripping packs before they get to the investors, so to speak. But that stuff, anything that's like easier to pack, easier to all package up, they want outsourced and they want to be the ones who are handling the more ancillary product. They don't want that stupid ass, the one Spanish pack, one pack from this set, one pack from the next set. They don't want to look that foolish anymore. But that's the play is bundles. If you want to rip some fucking Destin Rivals, why in the world would you pay 400 some bucks for a booster box when you buy a booster bundle for what are they at 50 or to 60 right now? I'm trying to remember. Way closer to your actual MSRP than your booster box would be. Even if you wanted to sit on that thing, even if you're like an investor who's going to use a time horizon thing, why would you not buy the same packs at a way smaller pack for per price? Like I was always told by the investors, it's just so much easier to just sell a box, but it if it's the same desired set, I just feel like any of the investors who are buying bundles right now are going to be like, bro, I can do this all day. I don't mind having making 3 4 more sales with 2 bundles or 3 bundles in a lot, as opposed to being able to buy a or sell a box at once. I don't think it'll be that much more work for those people, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Might also be an interesting time to kind of address a lot of my haters. Hundreds and hundreds of doubters kept repeating Millennium Pokemon print group actually prints more than Pokemon. And my uncle Nintendo Millennium told me I fully agree with that. He underscored it in a really interesting way, I thought, that Pokemon Company International is taking cues from like Papa Nintendo, so to speak. If you look at how Nintendo interacted with HAL Laboratories, right? Instead of buying them outright, they became a second party partner and helped them do what they do best so they could serve all sorts of clients while simply giving Nintendo kind of priority in that client list. Compare that maybe to a Marvel Comics of the 90s, right? So when they were growing, they were seeing huge growth. They saw how owning their own distributor could really help their bottom line. And the Western business philosophy was we need that company to do well to make money. We're going to buy them. They work for us now and they do our business. The Eastern business philosophy is to say, hey, we need that company to do well. We need them to make money. How can we help you grow? How can we help foster what it is that makes you do your business well in a second party way that just puts us first in line when you're doing your job well? So that is what Pokemon Company International is doing with Millennium Print Group. They like that they print for all sorts of different clients, but it doesn't change the fact that this new print facility is for Pokemon. It is with TCG specifically in mind, and with Pokemon being again that priority client in line get to lease out time on that space. That's also why that story was purposefully leaked to Poke Beach. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of, I guess, scoop number two is Pokemon wants to bring perfect order back with these mega sets. I'll explain what I mean there. So we've seen them shift to smaller sets, right? Everyone knows they get to print more of that set if there are fewer cards in the set. That means that same amount of print time results in more packs, more boxes, right? It's also why they moved Gengar out of Phantasmal Flames and over into Ascended Heroes. And it's why Anon's guess, unfortunately, at a Dustin Rivals booster box there will not come to fruition. They are reprinting boxes from the mega set specifically. So Phantasmal is dead on. They're going to be getting more base set. They want to make sure by the time Perfect Order comes out, multiple mega blocks are available to choose from, even if they're not all at MSRP, all near MSRP. So the consumers that are joining the market at the 30th anniversary feel like they have some sort of choice as they're looking at the products that are available. So to ensure perfect order, they leaked not only this news about the print facility, they leaked, ladies and gentlemen, TPCI is the source of the Greninja SIR leak. You heard that right. So think about it. First, unlike the stolen cards from the Sword and Shield era from, was it Fusion Strike? I think there was an Evolving Sky stack of like stolen cards at one point. Unlike those, no one's been like arrested. There's been no word of someone being fired, even for leaking the information. But arrested, they were trying to sell stolen materials at a show, apparently, is where we got the pictures from this set. Think about this also. When's the last time we had leaked pictures that looked that clear? Like down to being able to decipher what the set symbol even was. All of that is to say, Pokemon's trying to take the air out of their own sails. So this is going to be like the impact of it is we're moving into Ascended Heroes. People are very excited for it, as they should be. It's a specialty set. It has new arts of cards that have already been out in the Scarlet Violet or the Mega Block. They will know that market understands that a lot of the ETBs aren't coming until February because, as we've covered, they've been very well publicized what the staggered release schedule is going to be for Ascended Heroes. So we've got ETBs in March. I think it's like poster collections and maybe tins were during ETBs. Anyway, you've got February and March. You've got like more and more staggered release of these Ascended Heroes product. March, by the way, is when Perfect Order is supposed to be coming out. The set that people immediately, just based on not even knowing the card art, just knowing the Pokemon that they're putting on the box of this thing, they're going, oh no, there's no way this is going to be hype. There's no way this is going to be a good set. Then add to that, by March, we'll have reveals for that fourth mega set, this Chaos Rising set. So will people be excited seeing the official reveals of these cards from Chaos Rising that they've already seen 2 months prior? I guess that's kind of like a mini scoop. Chaos Rising is the name of the set. I think it was he's my uncle Nintendo said it was Richie in marketing. Thought it was kind of funny, like, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising. They want perfect order, and they're kind of joking like, yeah, but we're going right into the 30th. Is it going to be one or the other? They're hoping for one. We'll see if they're able to achieve that, but they're hoping for perfect order to be achieved. Couple that with, if a non-TCG is, if what he's telling you is true about these phantasmal boxes, potentially mega base set boxes coming to market at the end of February, right before perfect order is coming out. Their hope is, you can kind of see, their hope is to have March be the month where most of the mega block is kind of getting back into order, into a little bit of control, to the point where, again, if someone's joining during that 30th anniversary, there's something on the shelf there. There's one or two sets that, if it isn't on the shelf, they're not paying 2 times MSRP for it. They're paying a little bit of a premium to go open up some packs. But yeah, there you have it. First scoop, booster boxes. They are in a manufacturer induced coma. They are not prioritized. It's not that they're dead. You're still going to see them. They're just not nearly as many as booster bundles is what you want to buy if that's your thing. Second kind of scoop. Pokemon doesn't want you to like the Mega Block, or they don't want you hyped about the Mega Block. They want something to be able to be sitting on the shelf, greeting customers when they come in for that 30th anniversary. Anyone who isn't at this point wasn't brought in from one of these other hype cycles. They want something to be on the shelf for those folks. Whether you believe in Uncle Nintendo or not, leave me a comment down below. Give me your thoughts on how you think Pokemon's going to approach this quarter. See what else do I got going on. I'm going to do a video on Lorcana print runs. Now, it's pretty clear Ravensburger's kind of tightened back the reins a little bit on how much they're printing. So I'm going to use TCG Player, like full market size, to kind of illustrate that. Hit the subscribe, hit the notify. Probably going to try to do a video on Poketubers at some point, just because I got to roast some of these motherfuckers. I want to do like a going shopping for singles video. All that's going to be coming at you, if not the end of this month, then early in February. So subscribe down below, like, tell some motherfuckers about the show, all that good shit. Be good to each other. TCGs or whatever you make of I love you. I don't know. Just have a good one, y'all. Take it easy.